everyone and welcome to my X-Men Comics I Really Need to Read video. So today is X-Men Day, which means it is a day celebrating everything to do with the X-Men. So what I thought I'd do is make a video all about all of the comics I desperately need to read that are X-Men comics, because I talk a lot about the comics I have read, but I don't talk about much the comics I desperately want to read as well. So that's what I thought I'd do today. First comic I'm going to mention is Legion Trauma. Now this one is the final Legion comic I own that I haven't read yet, and the reason why I haven't read it yet is because I love Legion with all of my mutant loving heart and I don't have any others at the moment, and I just desperately want like more Legion in my life essentially, and I just don't want to read the final comic that I own of his because then it's over until I can find some more essentially. So that's why I'm putting it off, but I do love Legion. He is the son of Charles Xavier, aka Professor X. He's a very, very underrated character despite the fact that he's an Omega level mutant, and he's just a fantastic character quite frankly, and there needs to be more of him. I've also got X-23 Innocence Lost as well. Now this one is obviously about X-23, who is the cloned daughter of Wolverine, who is naturally one of my favourite characters, but I absolutely love X-23 as well. She is such an interesting character in the sense that even though she is the clone of Wolverine and she has a very similar storyline in the sense that she was used as a weapon and things like this, and she's having to try and like make peace with that and become her own person and things like this, she is also very much her own character, and I absolutely adore her. I literally just absolutely adore her so much, so I desperately want to read more from her, and this is definitely one I want to get to. I've also got the Age of X-Men event on here, which is where the X-Men are living in this sort of utopia of the world where the mutants are accepted, and they have made a utopia on Earth essentially, and I really, really want to read this one. It sounds really, really interesting. I also know that the tie-in Nightcrawler has been written by Shauna Maguire, who is one of my favourite authors, so I am desperate to get to this. I also want to read The Death of Wolverine because I like pain. This is coming from someone who's watched Logan once. I literally watched Logan once in the cinema on the day it came out, specifically wearing this t-shirt funnily enough, and I haven't watched it since because that film is agony to a massive X-Men fan. It is... I can't deal with Logan dying, essentially. I'm still in denial. It's been like 4 years and I'm still in denial, and I'm still sitting here going, no, he's not dead. He's absolutely fine. He's absolutely fine. Just, he'll get up in a minute. I'm very much Logan trash, essentially, and I'm not over the fact that he died in the movies, and I'm not over the fact that he may get recast. He better not. But besides the point, The Death of Wolverine is actually where he dies, and this is like an entire comic run with him slowly dying and how people deal with that, and I really want to read this one and I don't quite know why. Like, I'm not over the movie and I now want to put myself through the pain of him dying in the comic. Don't ask me why. I've literally got lined up the Return of Wolverine immediately afterwards as well, so I can just immediately read that and be like, no, he's fine, he's absolutely fine, he's back up again. So yeah, I just want to read this one because apparently I'm a masochist. I'm also saying the new X-Men as well because this should have been on my series I really want to finish video that I did last week, because this literally focuses on like a series that I have already started, and it's like the young X-Men going into the school and things like this, and it's literally following the younger set of X-Men, which are clearly going to come up through the ranks in the later books and just become bigger X-Men and stuff like this, and I just haven't read it. Don't ask me why. I just haven't read it yet, especially considering one of the comics, Childhood's End, literally focuses on X-23 and a lot of these characters in the event of House of M, and I'm like, I should probably read this, and I just haven't yet. Don't ask me why, I just haven't yet, and I desperately want to. There's literally another comic in this which is literally focusing on Magic, aka Ileana, who is one of my all-time favourite mutants, and I just haven't read it. Don't ask me why. I just haven't read it yet, so I desperately need to get on that, like, immediately. I've also got Quicksilver No Surrender as well, because this one is literally focusing on Pietro, aka Quicksilver, who is Wanda's brother, twin brother. He is literally amazing. I love Quicksilver as a character, but you don't really see him as a solo character that often. He's usually like teamed up with Wanda or somebody else, and I really want to read more about Quicksilver essentially. I do love Quicksilver. I love both iterations in the MCU and in the Fox universe. I prefer the Fox universe one, quite frankly, and yeah, I'm not going there in terms of WandaVision, but I do love him, and in this one as well, this really focuses on Pietro as a character, and also his relationship with Wanda, which is so interesting because they've both been through so much over the years, and I think their character dynamic is really, really interesting, and I just really want to know more about it, so I am desperate to read this as well. And that is the end of my X-Men comics I really want to read list. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please do give me a thumbs up. Comment down below with the comics you are desperate to read. I'd love to know. I'll also leave a link down below to all of my social media if you want to check it out, including to the Comic Book Sanctum, which is my website dedicated to Marvel Comics, which has got a lot of X-Men stuff on there. And if you want to see any more of my videos, please click subscribe here, and over here will be the link to my previous video. But until next time, everyone, bye!